If there's one game that's just perfect for mobile or portable devices, it's Pokemon. There's not a soul in the world who would disagree with that. I mean, who doesn't remember the good old days of Pokemon Blue, Red, Yellow, etc. on Game Boy, right? Man, talk about the golden age of gaming. I personally was one of those kids whose biggest life decision was, what Pokemon type do I start my adventure with? Water, fire, or grass? However, all of these games are only available on Nintendo consoles, and they probably won't be coming to smartphones anytime soon. But it ain't all gray and black for iOS users, for there's a game that scratches that Pokemon itch just right. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Nexomon. Nexomon is a game where you catch monsters known as, well, Nexomon. Of course, one of the game's goals is to catch them all. It is a Pokemon-like game after all. However, the game's primary goal is to stop the most powerful tamer of them all, a spiky-haired dude named Nexolord. What a name, huh? How's that for convenient? You play as a child of two scientists, and you're accompanied by a talking robot called Atlas, who's basically your sidekick. You'll venture the world of Nexomon as you go on a journey of stopping the Nexolord and catching as many Nexomon as you can along the way. Of course, as every Pokemon player knows and remembers, battles with other trainers, or tamers in this case, is an absolute must. So, catching wild creatures, battling other people, and chasing down a major villain who has a plan of taking over the world with said creatures, this game ticks all the boxes that will definitely satisfy your Pokemon smartphone needs. The gameplay revolves around the Nexomon battles, which are, of course, turn-based. Pokemon fans know how these battles work, but just in case there are some of you out there who've never played a Pokemon game before, let me explain to you how these battles go down. You've got a team of up to 6 different Nexomon, as does your opponent. You take turns in attacking, and each type of Nexomon has its strengths and weaknesses. For example, Grass type is weak against Fire, Fire is weak against Water, and so on. You can heal your Nexomon during battles using in-game items, and if you're not battling other tamers, you can use Nexo traps to catch a Nexomon. Just make sure you don't reduce its health points completely before doing so. It's a pretty straightforward and simple battle mechanic, but it does require a fair amount of strategic planning, like which Nexomon to use in a certain situation, and more importantly, which attack to execute first. You level up your Nexomon as you make progress throughout the game, and before facing the game's main villain, you will have to beat a bunch of elite tamers to prove that you're indeed worthy of taking on the main man himself. These elite tamers are called Overseers, and for the sake of keeping this review spoiler-free, we won't reveal what happens to them once you beat them and what their exact purpose in the story of Nexomon is. That's up to you to find out. The one thing that I dislike about Nexomon though is that catching the creatures requires zero skill. In Pokemon games, you had to wear the Pokemon out, either by reducing its health to a certain point, or putting it to sleep, or even paralyzing it. That will make your Pokeball throwing efforts a sheer success. However, in Nexomon, it doesn't matter what you do, it's the game that decides if your Nexo Trap will catch the Nexomon. It's all completely random. This aspect of the game can be very, and I mean very frustrating at certain times, especially if you're on your last Nexo Trap and you're trying to catch a rare Nexomon. It's worth noting that Nexomon is a premium game. At the time of making this video, it costs only £1 on the App Store. However, it offers in-app purchases. This is another thing that we dislike about the game. In-app purchases with premium games are just not okay. Although, to be fair, you don't have to buy any of the things that the game offers. They're just things that will boost your progress, such as golden Nexo traps, which guarantee a 100% chance of catching a Nexomon, and shared XP, for example, which means all your party members will level up significantly faster, but none of these things are mandatory. You can still have fun and complete the game, although at a much slower pace. Nexomon is a gorgeous looking Pokemon clone that plays strikingly similar like the Nintendo Giant. If you're a Pokemon fan and you have an iOS device, we cannot recommend this game enough. If you've never played a Pokemon game before though, and you can't be bothered with getting a Nintendo device just to get your feet wet in this genre, then definitely do give Nexomon a try. What you get from this game is basically the same you'd get from any Pokemon title of this sort, except Pokemon Go. That game makes you rock in real life.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. Let us know down in the comment section below what Pokemon game was your favorite and what's your take on Nexomon. We always love to hear from you, and please make sure to head over to AltChar.com for much more content like this. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. This is Sobriel, and see you next time.